When you learn more about who this Valentine guy was, you're not going to look at Valentine's Day the same way again. If you do, you're kind of like, you deserve to be alone. Some think there are two Valentines because one is referred to as a bishop in Terni and one is referred to as a presbyter in Rome. But those titles are essentially the same thing. They also mean elder or priest, even though they were not Catholics at that time, like the old school Christians, the ones that were doing it right for the most part, not a lot of what is reflected today. Rome and Terni are 60 miles apart. Both lived in the 3rd century, both were martyred for their faith, both buried along the Roman road called Via Flaminia. I'll speak American. Whatever, I think it's the same guy. We know for a fact that the emperor from 268 to 270 AD was a guy named Claudius II. He was also called Claudius Gothicus because he defeated the Goths. He also died from the plague defeating the Goths. He was 54 to 56 years old during these years. It should be noted this was a Roman emperor that was not assassinated, which was a pretty big deal. We know in 3rd century AD, the Roman Empire was starting to falter. There were civil wars, economic unrest. People didn't want to sign up to join the military. And that propagated this rumor that there was a ban on being married because part of the Valentine story was that he secretly married people because it was illegal to get married. Now, for much of the early Roman Empire, if you were an active duty soldier, you couldn't get married. You could have a woman and children, but not legally get married. It was considered a distraction. But that had been done away with for about 70 years before Claudius II. Now, because of a lot of displaced anger issues, Christians were being persecuted at this time. Not 64 AD Nero level, burn them at the stake for garden decor persecuted, but they were being persecuted and had to perform ceremonies underground. And this may tie into the whole Valentine wedding thing, because maybe it was the Christians who had to go underground to get married in the catacombs. That's where they had to worship. That's where they had to perform baptisms. So that may have kicked off that whole line of thinking. Just a side note here, but as somebody who lives in Southern California and recently was evacuated because of the Palisades fire, the rumor was that Nero started that fire because he wanted to upgrade the infrastructure and he wanted a new palace, which he did build himself on land that was cleared, but he needed a scapegoat, and the Christians were exactly that. They were not popular, and yeah, conspiracy theories, always a thing. These days, I think we're just calling it critical thinking. Oh, Nero's complaint was also that the city was overcrowded. So, yeah, so population control. Nothing new under the sun.